The business end of the season is here, and Celtic have been handed the chance to win the league title on our own terms. And unlike a few of our previous league clinching moments this century, this one's not set to be under the midweek floodlights or late on a school night. This time, it's a Saturday lunchtime kickoff at Tannadice, and a chance for glory in front of a full buzzing away end. The SPFL announced the post-split premiership fixtures yesterday afternoon, and now the final stretch is in full view. 7 games potentially to wrap up what could be another treble-winning campaign. It all kicks off this Sunday at Hampden Park. Scottish Cup semi-final against St Johnstone. A massive game in its own right, even before you consider what it means in the bigger picture. Win that, and we're 90 minutes away from another cup final, another piece of silverware, and another shot at history. And then comes the trip to Tannadice the following weekend, Saturday 12:30 p.m. Its simple 1 point is enough to confirm the league title. A win, of course, would be even better. It's the same venue where we secured the title 3 years ago under Ange Postecoglou. That night still lives in the memory for many. Whether you were there in the stands or watching from halfway across the world, it felt like a turning point. After the disaster of the COVID season, it was the culmination of a complete rebuild, a resurgence. And while the performance that night was maybe a bit ropey, no one cared. It was about the moment. This time, you like to think Celtic can do. It's with a bit more swagger. A performance that matches the occasion. And let's be honest, if for some reason we don't get over the line at Tannadice, we've got Ibrox the following weekend. Sunday the 4th of May. May the 4th be with you and all that. Another potential chance to wrap up the league. That one's got its own weight to it, even if the title is already secured. The last 2 derbies in the league haven't gone our way. And if there's a chance to set that right and do it at their ground, the players should be buzzing for it. There's a score to settle there, no doubt. After that, we're back home to face Hibs, our first game at Celtic Park. After a wee spell on the road, depending how things go in the next couple of weeks, that could be a bit of a dead rubber in terms of the league, but it's still a big occasion. Back in front of our fans, hopefully with the title already in the bag. Then we're off to Pittodrie for our only midweek fixture in this final stretch, 7:45 p.m. on the 14th of May, and finally Trophy Day at Celtic Park, Saturday the 17th of May, 12:30 p.m. against St Mirren. A full house, the league trophy getting lifted, and hopefully a proper party to mark another successful season. And if we do our job on Sunday in the Cup, we'll have one more match after that, the Scottish Cup final Saturday the 24th of May. Kickoff time still TBC, but probably 3 p.m. at Hampden. That would round things off perfectly, wouldn't it? Now, TV-wise, Premier Sports will be showing the semi-final and likely the final as well. And the BBC usually have rights to the final too. Sky, as expected, have picked up 4 of the post-split fixtures, all from the top 6. 3 of those are Celtic games, Tannadice, Ibrox, and Trophy Day. No real shock there. Sky focus heavily on Celtic and Rangers, even when they're tasty. Battles for 3rd place or the final European spot happening. Aberdeen, Hibs, Dundee United. All involved in that scrap, but none of those direct matchups have been selected for broadcast. From the league's point of view, you'd think they'd want more visibility on those matches too, just to show there's more to the league than the top 2. It's shaping up to be a cracking finish regardless. The mood around the club had dipped slightly in recent weeks. Results weren't terrible, but performances felt flat. There was a bit of frustration building among fans. But the game at the weekend, the 51 win over Kilmarnock, lifted spirits. That first half hour was arguably our best spell of football all season. Sharp, relentless, and full of purpose. The second half maybe wasn't quite at the same level, but still 5 goals. And 3 points was exactly what we needed. A reminder of what this team is capable of. Now, looking ahead, we've got 3 big weekends in a row. The Cup semi this Sunday, a proper test, especially since St Johnstone beat us just 10 days ago. No one will be taking anything for granted. But we're strong favourites, especially on the big Hampden pitch. Then Tannadice, where we could clinch the league. That stadium will be bouncing. 3 years ago, the atmosphere was unbelievable. Huge Celtic support packed into 2 stands. Everyone singing their hearts out. This time, with the title on the line again, expect more of the same. Then the following week, Ibrox. As much as it could be a dead rubber by then, it won't feel like it. That's a game you always want to win. And as mentioned earlier, the recent derby results add a bit of extra spice. Losing 3 out of 4 in the league would leave a sour taste no matter what else we win. So there's pressure there, and rightly so. These are the games that define the season. After that, things should calm down a bit. A couple of less intense league games to wrap things up, and then hopefully Hampton again. Cup final, one last dance. It could also be Greg Taylor's final few weeks in a Celtic shirt. There's a sense he might be on the move come summer, and it'll be interesting to see what kind of send-off he gets from the fans, especially the North Curve. They gave Joe Hart a brilliant tribute last year, and Taylor's been a loyal servant. The SPFL also put out a We Explainer article alongside the fixture release just to address some of the usual questions around the split. How the games are selected, which fixtures get flipped, that sort of thing. Nothing new in there to be honest, mostly recycled from previous years. But one quote stood out, a line from SPFL CEO Callum Beattie confirming that the league's competitions working group will be reviewing the current structure later this month, including potential alternatives. So league reconstruction is officially back on the agenda. That's interesting because there's been growing chatter about the pros and cons of the split and whether the current format still works. They also shared a graphic showing how all 12 Premiership teams have fared across the 33-game regular season. Celtic, unsurprisingly, have been top from match day 1. The only time we weren't was literally before a ball was kicked, sitting in second due to alphabetical order behind Aberdeen. Since then, it's been calm, controlled progress. We've led the way from the start and never looked back. Hibs have had an interesting rise climbing up to third after a bit of a rocky start. But really, this has been one of the most straightforward title wins I can remember. There's not been a single point this season where it felt like we might lose. Our grip. We've just quietly handled business week after week, and now we're one result away from sealing it. While we've got our eyes firmly on the domestic double, or treble if things go to plan, there's already plenty of noise around what lies ahead for Celtic in Europe next season. And rightly so, the Champions League's getting a full shake-up, and this will be the first time we see the new format in action. It's no longer just about making the group stage, it's a full league phase now, 8 matches instead of 6, and a proper chance to test ourselves against a wider range of clubs. But the route there, the pots, the seedings, all that depends on UEFA coefficients, both ours and Scotland's. Now, for next season, we're already in the Champions League. No qualifiers straight in. That's been guaranteed for a while now, thanks to the country ranking staying strong. Scotland finished last season in the top 10 of the 5-year UEFA coefficient table, which means our champions go direct into the group phase, or league phase as it'll now be. That's massive. It saves us from those awkward qualifiers in July, where anything can happen, and a dodgy ref or off night can derail the whole campaign before it even begins. Think back to some of those slip-ups we've had in the past. Cluj, Michelin, even AEK Athens. Those scars don't heal quick. But here's where it gets interesting. What pot Celtic land in for the new Champions League will be based on our own club coefficient, and ours frankly needs work. We're sitting around the 40 mark in the UEFA rankings, miles behind some of the clubs we'll be up against. That means we're likely to be in pot 3 or 4 when the draw's made. That affects the kind of teams we'll play. There's no hiding place in the new format. You get 8 games against 8 different clubs across the board. You're guaranteed to play at least 2 teams from each pot, so the balance is a bit more spread, but still, if you're down the pecking order, you're up against it from the start. And the pressure's only going to build. UEFA are changing the way spots in the Champions League get handed out going forward. From next season, it's no longer enough for Scotland just to hover around the top 10. We'll need consistent results from all our clubs to keep our ranking high. That means Rangers, Hearts, Hibs, whoever's in Europe, they need to pull their weight. Too often we've seen other Scottish sides crash out early, which drags the whole coefficient down. Celtic can't carry it all ourselves. That said, we've got our own homework to do as well. The last couple of Champions League campaigns have been disappointing, to be kind. Under Ange, we played some great football in spells, but got punished for every mistake. This year under Brendan, it felt a bit more cautious, but the end result was the same. Bottom of the group, not even a consolation Europa League spot. That can't keep happening. The club have talked big about learning lessons and building for Europe, but this summer it's time to back that up with real action. The transfer window will be huge. We need players who can handle the step up. Not just in terms of quality, but mentality. It's one thing cruising past St. Mirren on a Saturday. It's another walking into the San Siro or Bernabeu and keeping your composure. We've seen too many times that players who look great domestically just can't cut it on the European stage. That's gotta change. If we want to progress, we need a spine that can compete, a strong keeper, solid center halves, a midfielder who can dictate and cover ground, and someone up top who can finish even with half a chance. The board know this, the fans know this, and Brendan Rodgers will definitely be demanding it. He came back with unfinished business in Europe. The last time round, his Celtic side struggled badly in the Champions League. Heavy defeats, leaky defense, and barely a point to show for it. This is his chance to put that right, but he needs the tools. You can't build a house with plastic hammers, as they say. There's also the matter of squad depth. With 8 Champions League games instead of 6 plus the League, Scottish Cup, and League Cup, we're talking about a packed calendar. There'll be weeks where we play Saturday, Wednesday, Sunday back to back, if we want to compete on all fronts. The days of having 2 or 3 dependable starters and the rest just filling in won't cut it. We need 2 quality players in every position, no passengers, no projects that might come good. Proven talent ready to go. Financially, the new Champions League format brings in more money too. More games means more TV rights, more gate receipts, and potentially a bigger slice of the UEFA prize pot. But again, that only matters if we make it count. It's not just about qualifying, it's about competing. Even finishing mid-table in the league phase could take us into the knockouts, or at least the Europa League. That's a level we should be aiming for, not just showing up, making a mark. And look, the fans are desperate for a proper European run. It's been far too long. Now it's like Lazio away or Leipzig at home have had glimpses of a magic, but we've not had a genuine campaign where you felt we could go far since the Martin O'Neill days, or maybe that UEFA Cup run under Strachan. This club's got European pedigree, Lisbon, Lyon, Seville, even the famous wins over Milan United and Barca. But those are memories now. It's time to create new ones. And if the board get it right this summer, there's no reason we can't. So while the domestic stuff's far from done and we're still chasing a potential treble, you can bet the planning for Europe has already started behind the scenes. Scouts will be out, agents will be circling, and Brendan Rodgers will have his list. The question is, will the board back him? Will they push the boat out and give him what he needs to take Celtic to the next level? That remains to be seen. But one thing's clear, if we want to stop being just passengers in Europe and actually become contenders again, the time to act is now. Before we proceed, subscribe to our channel and enable notifications to receive all exclusive news about Celtic FC. Don't miss any details about your favorite team. It's extremely important for Celtic FC fans. In a twist that has sent shockwaves across Scottish football, reports suggest that Celtic may be preparing an audacious move to sign none other than James Tavernier, the long-serving Rangers captain and an icon at Ibrox. Yes, you read that right. The man who lifted Rangers out of the Championship, led them through a historic European run, and shattered records as the highest-scoring defender in British football history, could be heading to the other side of Glasgow's fierce divide. The mere idea of Tavernier donning the green and white hoops feels like something from a football fantasy novel. But sources close to Celtic Park hint that this isn't just tabloid noise. With Brendan Rodgers said to be an admirer of Tavernier's relentless attacking drive and set-piece precision, the Hoops see the veteran right-back as a transformational figure who could bring leadership, experience, and goals from deep, something few defenders in Europe can offer. Tavernier's career has been nothing short of extraordinary. From humble beginnings at Newcastle United and a rocky patch at Wigan, the Englishman found his true home in Glasgow. Over nearly a decade, he has amassed over 500 appearances, scored more than 130 goals, and written his name into Rangers folklore. His captaincy, his consistency, and his remarkable knack for rising in big moments, including a wonder goal in the 2016 Challenge Cup final and a golden boot-worthy Europa League campaign, have made him a hero on the blue side of the city. So, what could drive such a dramatic switch? Some insiders speculate that Tavernier, at 33, is seeking one final challenge before the twilight of his career. With Rangers beginning a generational rebuild and Celtic hungry to reassert domestic dominance with season winners, the stars might just be aligning. It's a move that would stun both sets of fans and light a fire under the fiercest rivalry in Britain. Of course, nothing is set in stone. No official bids have been confirmed, and Rangers are unlikely to let their captain go without a fight. but the mere possibility of this transfer is enough to spark feverish debate from pubs in Parkhead to the stands of Ibrox. If it happens, it won't just be a transfer, it'll be a tremor that shakes Scottish football to its core. Hello, fan! Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as it means a lot to Celtic FC. Also, share your opinion about the news in the comments below. See you in the next video.